My name is Cathy Christensen, and I will be your host. If you're not familiar with me, I've been in the medical aesthetics industry for the past 25 years. And during that time, I've had a chance to really meet some amazing, amazing people. And one of those people is our guest today, and I'm very, very excited about her joining us. I can't wait for us to get into our conversation, and a lot of you know her. She's an exceptional physician out of Sugar Land, Texas. Dr. Kim Evans, she's a specialist in women's health care, sexual health, and aesthetic med spa treatments. She's a board certified OBGYN with nearly 20 years of experience. She is bringing in bioregenerative, she's bringing in hormones, she's treating cosmetic and functional conditions. She's based out of Houston. You've probably heard her talk. She's one of the most incredible educators in this type of aesthetics and then in aesthetics in general. So please help me welcome Miss and Dr. Kimberly Evans.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kathy. You are amazing too. I just want to let you know. So I'm a huge fan too. So don't, this feeling is mutual. And
Every
happy to be
time
here.
every
Yeah,
time I see you, we've got to get the hugs in.
I
Dr.
know.
Evans is the most genuine person, one of the most genuine people that I've ever met. She's always coming in with the right intention. She's really approaches things with her whole heart. And I'm so excited to have her here. You've been voted many years in a row the best med spa in your area. She recently has gone through an expansion and she's still going through the expansion. It's not you don't wave a magic wand and get there. So I'm just so excited to have you here and I can't wait to kind of dig in.
Yes. Awesome. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
So, Dr. Evans, tell us about your journey. I know you started well, I'll let you tell it, but go ahead.
Gotcha. So I'll start from a little bit where I am now because you're gonna probably be like, how in the world did you actually get here? Because sometimes I have to ask myself or I'm talking to God about it, like, am I supposed to be here? Is this real?
Mm-hmm.
So so right now I'm at a place where, in a lot of people's journeys where they kind of start reaching their pinnacle of life. I recently hit that big 5-0 in terms of age, 1 to 2 years
Mm-hmm.
ago. I'll leave it like that.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of career, I'm doing exactly what I love to do. And it's a lot of stuff. So it's a lot of stuff to kind of unpack and things like that. But just starting off, I've always had a passion for helping people. And I think the more people that I met, the more problems I realized that were out there. My biggest thing was like, well, how do we solve this? Well, how do we solve this? Well, who's not helping out with this? And how can I be of service, to this thing? So my background, I started off as OBGYN trained, and I had been delivering babies for over 20 years. And probably about 2014, I got into this space of feminine rejuvenation, and it
Mm-hmm.
literally just kind of took off from there. And where I was, there's a lot of OBGYNs in the area, but not too many were actually helping ladies, post baby. How do they solve, different problems with laxity and various things like that? So I got a couple of cool non-invasive devices in my hand, which I thought was huge because, of course,
Uh-huh.
I do this, I know this. I know that I can help women look better and feel better, and I can help with urinary incontinence as well as sexual function. So I was so geeked about that. But it's so funny how life tends to take you places and you're like, oh, we're going there now? Okay. So along that time too, as most people know, as we age as practitioners, our practice and our patients, they start to age too. So I started getting questions about hormone balancing and stuff like that. So I was,
Mm.
fixing the ladies up downstairs, and then they were like, okay, now I'm having hot flashes. So I start fixing that. And then when I fixed the ladies, then the guys were like, well, what about us? So then I start working on them too. So the whole thing, my whole track, it just kind of kept evolving and kept evolving and kept evolving. So literally, I think it's just nothing but God, a lot of passion for, what I do and just really helping people and just doing what we're called to do. And, definitely helping people in their most intimate things. I've had women where we've taken, I've actually added cosmetic gynecology surgery to the practice too, because there's some things that
Mm-hmm.
machines can't fix.
Mm-hmm.
And true indeed. I got a couple guys that were like, well, hey, can you take off this little mole or this little thing for me too? So I started helping them too. So it's been a pleasurable journey to be able to service people at that level of, intimacy, wellness, and have conversations with them that they don't feel comfortable talking to a lot of other people about. So,
Yeah, that's incredible. Well, and
mhm,
as you know, and I've just been doing a lot of reading and research on the future of our industry, and the future of our industry kind of starts to meld wellness, right? It's not
yes.
just going to be aesthetics and you look great, but you feel like crap on the inside.
Mhm, totally.
Instead, things are starting to really come together and combine. And I'm really excited because I feel like you've been doing this for a little while now, where you're really kind of I consider you kind of a pioneer in this sense that you're looking at sexual wellness and aesthetics and
Mhm,
whole body function and
right,
all of that. So when
right.
it sounds like you've kind of met the need as you've grown.
Mhm.
How would you suggest someone who, I mean, you're kind of naturally, as you're placed as an OBGYN, that evolution may be more natural to you. How would you recommend people who are wanting to bring in these aspects into their business? How should they do it? Even, I mean, most especially if they are not, in your specialty.
Absolutely. So, first of all, you have to answer the needs of your patients. And whatever that need is, you have to then figure out, okay, what do I like? And then what do my patients like? And then how do these two things intersect? And then literally just take it to the nth level. There will always be people around you, just like there are burger spots on every corner or pizza shops on every
Mm-hmm.
corner. But what you bring to the table or what makes you unique is your way of delivering that to your public. And that can literally like make you or break you. So if you do stuff that you're not passionate about, your patients will detect it.
Mm-hmm.
Your performance won't be as good. You
Mm-hmm.
won't fight for tooth and nail for everything that you believe in. And it's amazing just like how far you'll look back and you'll be like, oh, I came this far. I guess I can keep going, literally, literally. So yeah, my best advice, figure out whatever that intersection is between what you love and what your patients love, and then just really take it to the 10th degree.
So, do you think it would be how important is networking to bring these in? Because one of the I've had conversations about wellness treatments with many med spa owners, and a lot of them are really, they're either gun shy to bring it in because it's so important that it's done correctly, or they just like bring it in even if they don't know what they're doing. Like, what's the best way to do this so that you're offering a treatment in a considered way, and working with the right people who can provide it?
Absolutely. So I probably did a little bit of both what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know how this was going to fit in, but I incorporated it anyways. And then, which is costly, it's very costly. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily advise doing that all the time. But whenever you have, again, that intersection of what you're passionate about, and then you
Mm-hmm.
think, okay, this treatment can help with that because it just feeds into what I'm already doing. That's
Mm-hmm.
literally how I layered every single piece of equipment, like afterwards, even down to, certainly my MFM 360 that helps with my vaginal rejuvenation procedures. To now we have the ExoMind, for example, and not to name names, I'm just saying, this
Yeah, yeah,
they are because they're unique. They're so
yeah.
unique. The ExoMind, it helps relax your brain. And you think like, well, okay, what is a mental wellness device doing in a
Mm.
GYN wellness practice per se. But the thing is that I have a lot of people and a lot of patients who said that they just cannot relax. They can't
Mm-hmm.
relax to enjoy their family. They can't relax to enjoy themselves. It's like they're always on, 10. And I found that by incorporating that, it's helped a lot of patients kind of move past and just kind of, decompress. And that's really what they need. So, granted, yes, you always want to be kind of somewhat of the cutting edge of everything that you're doing. But literally, whenever you can find a purpose and something else to help your patients, accelerate what they're already doing, then it just makes it even better.
This episode is sponsored by Growth 99, the med spa industry's leading digital marketing platform. Growth 99 has helped over 1,000 aesthetic and elective wellness practices grow through powerful digital marketing. Leading practices trust Growth 99 for services including marketing automation, beautiful websites, paid media, and SEO. Visit www.growth99.com today to learn more, or click the link in our show notes.
I hope you're enjoying this episode of the Zero Filter Sessions. I just wanted to take a quick minute to tell you more about me and how I might be able to help you. I have recently launched Christensen Consulting to help practices like yours with operational and strategy challenges that you're facing. As someone who's been in the industry for 20 plus years and who has grown small businesses from being in the red to being multi-million-dollar companies, I am confident I can help you. Whether you feel like you're always behind in making decisions for your practice, are struggling with team management and motivation, or are assessing how to grow, scale, and make more money, whether on your own or through private equity, I can help. Please reach out to me at Cathy, C-A-T-H-Y, at cchristensenconsulting.com. That's CCHRISTENSEN consulting.com. Or check out my website at cchristensenconsulting.com so I can help you find solutions and find success. And now back to our episode. I think that's really important, and to know your purpose, right?
Yeah.
There's at some point, I'm sure you had to either, did you go into your business knowing your purpose, or was there a point where you like kind of pumped the brakes a little bit and you were like, you know what, I really need to start like trying to hit a target? What was that like for you?
It's so funny that you say that, because I think I keep moving my goalpost just a little bit. So of
Yeah.
course, so I have in mind like this is how I see myself, in 5 to 10 years, really, kind of honing in and just getting a little bit more niche per se. But then it's like I've kind of developed this whole nother other beautiful, thing to help people, because of course, we added the weight loss things and we added the mentoring things and stuff like that, because honestly, if you're really going to, take that whole wellness thing further, people that, are, I hate to keep bringing up sex, I do apologize. But,
no, please, it's what you do. It's what you do.
This is not for children. So for people, that they feel good within their own body, they want to be more active. For people that, lose weight, that only helps them hormonally. It helps them metabolically. It helps them, feel better in their clothes even. You know what I mean? So it's just, you realize that out of all the things you have, everything just still kind of starts to fold into place, which is, to me, it's just completely incredible.
Yes,
Absolutely
absolutely.
amazing. Yeah. So I hope to stop moving the target and, just kind of get really good at just what we have right now. That's my most important goal right now. Because, we're pretty good. We're pretty advanced, I think, when I compare myself to, the neighbors that I'm not supposed to be looking at, but, you got to like peek at them occasionally.
Yes. No, it's true. And I think that it is, that's a tough challenge, because especially in this industry, because part of your success oftentimes is to keep up with what's coming down the pike. And there's always something in the medical spa industry.
Always something. Yeah. But, you'll find, and the best advice to give someone too, is that you'll find that some things will start to duplicate. For example, you don't need 3 microneedling devices from
Right.
those companies, for example. You know what I mean?
Right.
You just need one, maybe one that goes a little deeper, and that's pretty much it. Same thing for body contouring. You don't need a whole bunch. You just need like 1 or 2 that really works, that can hit those areas that you need. Yeah,
And if it's fitting into what you're offering too,
totally.
it's perfect. Well, and I think I admire you, Dr. Evans, because you are like on the precipice of this. Like you are breaking ground with this, and that's never easy, right? You can't just sit back and not that there's ever, as my friend Brian DuRocher, there's never a Brinks truck coming up to your practice and like, dropping off all the money that you've earned. But,
Would be nice though.
yeah, right. I haven't seen mine.
I know.
But I mean, there's a point where you have to be able to say, I'm building for the future. Like this is
Yes.
the future I'm building. And when it hits, you're going to be ready to go.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of it. That's very different. I mean, being a pioneer isn't easy in what you're doing. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
So I'm curious, as you've kind of gone through this,
Mhm.
your growth and your building in this industry, do you have a mentor? How do you feel about mentors? Is there anyone in your life that's really kind of helped guide you either mentally or through business strategy or anything like that?
I think when you get to a certain level, and this would be a great thing for who's ever, watching this podcast right now, is that when you get to a certain level, your mentors, you will pass them up in one way or another.
Mm,
Like
hmm
you have to get like with a Cathy Consulting to show you your financial woes. And then you have to get with, like the top tier at like the ISCG conference to show you the best cosmetic gynecology. And then you have to get a little bit from everybody. But there won't be that many people who can say like, hey, I have all of this. So that's the
hmm
hard thing about kind of pioneering it and stuff like that is, you got to kind of figure it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
So yeah, yeah, you got to figure it out. So it helps to have, friends that you can
hmm
call on and rely on for multiple disciplines. And this is why I'm so grateful, so, so very grateful that, that I did come in contact with, some really good organizations that was able to kind of put stuff together, put things into perspective. Multiple conferences, even ones that were just involving women, that was just so inspiring and just it's just a blessing. It's just a blessing to be part of something huge, and then to know people from that was able to just kind of add to that. So it's definitely a blessing, trust me.
How would you recommend? There's a lot out there. There's a lot of conferences, there's a lot of associations, there's a lot of education.
Mhm.
How would you recommend choosing the right one for you? What do you look for?
I look for multidisciplinary.
Mm,
Where can I go that's going to teach me the most about what I don't know? Sometimes you'll find them from who the conference speakers are.
uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So that always helps. But then again, you still want to be able to pivot. Like, for example, I was at this one conference where, I know feminine rejuvenation, right?
Uh-huh. Yes.
But I don't know.
You've taught feminine
Yes,
ritual. Yes.
yes. But I
Yes.
don't know social media.
Uh-huh.
You
Uh-huh.
know, I don't know AI very
Mhm.
well. I'm learning it, but you know what I mean? So to be part of something where they're offering those different things, it becomes very easy to piggyback, and then again to take you even further than what you imagine. So like for example, right now, because of the whole AI thing, like I'm using ChatGPT almost on a daily basis,
Uh-huh.
questions, and it's really helping a lot. But some people, they wouldn't even know that unless they found a problem with their current status quo. And I'll give you a perfect example, okay?
Yeah.
Just put it out there. So I love, 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 love my marketing company. But for example, because a lot of doctors, they'll be like, oh, marketing company here's a few $1,000s a month,
Mhm.
just take care of it. I know it's gonna work. But then you got to be able to sit back and say, well, how is it working? you know,
Mhm.
is this measurable? And then you
Mhm.
need someone really smart to say, how are you measuring that?
Mhm.
Like for example, again, like I used to do radio, and I liked radio. I thought that it was working well, but believe it or not, from dropping radio, I think we're just about as busy as we were before.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And not too many people came in and said, I found you through radio.
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
know so all those things, and granted, every business can be a little bit different about what they can tap into, but it literally has to be measurable growth to where you can actually see it. And then if not, then you need to be asking the questions like, well, what's missing here? And
Mhm.
power of AI is that you can feed it something and it will just tell you like, okay, this is great, but this needs to change.
Absolutely. Well, and I think, I mean, Kiana Jones, I don't know if you know her. She's
I
out of
Yep,
She's
know her.
brilliant. I
Hmm.
think what is her Instagram handle is something like side
Entrepreneur or something like that.
nurse, yeah, side
Yeah.
hustle nurse entrepreneur or something,
Yep.
but she's like a genius at AI.
Yep.
Um, that's kind of what she does very, very well. And, I was lucky enough at one point to have her on a panel, and she was just like, don't be scared, just try it. Like
Right.
and she's a solopreneur. I
Mhm.
don't know if she still is, but she was at the time. And she was like, boy, it's just like it's like you have help within your practice when you
Yes.
don't.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm solo right now. I know you have a relatively small team at this point. You're solo as far as your kind of leadership is concerned.
Hmm.
And it
Hmm.
is so nice to be able to have a little bit of feedback, but you have to take it with a grain of salt, right?
Right. Hmm.
Yeah, that's the worst thing you can do. I said this at one point in an article. I had asked, I'm a Bears fan, Chicago Bears fan, and
Oh, yes. Mhm.
when the Bears were playing, I was watching the games the Saturday before, and I was like, who do I root for? Like, what are the odds?
Right, right,
That
right, right.
you know, and AI told me the Cleveland Browns were in the playoffs, which they aren't at all. It was completely wrong. So that actually was kind of a check for me. I was like, okay, so they
Yep.
don't always know what they're talking about.
That is a very good point. Yeah, you do have to take it constructively, and then you make the final human decision.
Exactly. But
Mhm.
one of the things I love about you, Dr. Evans, is that you're curious. That's
Yep.
what it sounds like to me. Like it
Mhm.
doesn't sound like you stagnate or you're at a point where you're like, I know it, and if I don't know it, it doesn't matter. How do you maintain that curiosity even when you have so much going on all the time?
Oh, it's an everyday struggle. Everyday struggle, kid you not. Like literally, I have to get myself up, and my thing is in the morning, because I think every person, definitely when you get to this level, it's a lot. Like it's a lot. It's not just seeing patients anymore. It's like you're making decisions constantly.
Yep.
You're constantly solving problems. Constantly.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the best advice I probably would give to someone is, you have to almost find your place of meditation, your peace, your
Mm.
time to talk to God, and then just be like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, what do I do next?
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise it's just too much. You'd
Mm-hmm.
almost go crazy and just want to throw everything down and walk away. Yeah, literally. So yeah, it's every single day I have to talk to myself.
Yeah. No, I think that's true. You have to like at least stay aware and
Yes,
present in your
always.
journey. Yeah.
Always, always. And then, of course, with your vision, like, this is where we're going. Okay, what's the next step? And then what's the next
Mm-hmm.
step after that? And then 2 days later, okay, now what do I do? Yeah.
Exactly. There's one of my former coworkers, her name is Kirsty Jackson. She's brilliant. She would always say, how do you eat an elephant? One
Right.
bite at a time,
Little,
right?
yes, little bit by little bit. That's right. That is completely right. No, best, best, best advice.
So one of the things I've been noticing in some of the chat groups that I follow is there are a lot of people saying that the industry is saturated. It's kind of a common, and I've actually talked to several other people, and they're hearing it too. This is a common kind of woe is me thing that we're hearing. I am curious to hear your thoughts on that. I know I have my thoughts on it. You kind of mentioned earlier, kind of keeping an eye on what's going on with your neighbors and your competitors. Do you feel that the industry is saturated?
Honestly, a little bit, just
Mm-hmm.
a little bit. But
Mm-hmm.
the thing is, and this is the high differentiator, is that I believe, like the well-established people and the people that have really got purpose. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the people with the grit to be able to hold on at least for 2 years without
Mm-hmm.
knowing what's going to come next through the door, without having like a real plan, those are the people that are going to be able to say, okay, great. Now I'm more established. Now I'm going to be able to make it. Now, the person down the street that tried to set up shop and do the exact same thing, but they didn't do it right,
Mm-hmm.
they'll be the ones, that fail, unfortunately. So there always is a shift, in everything that becomes popular, everybody tries to jump on the bandwagon. And then
Mm-hmm.
eventually when they realize how hard it is, then they're like, oh, let me back up. And then of course the
Mm-hmm.
ones that are standing, then yeah, they'll be okay.
So what are the qualities that an owner should have to be one of those still standing?
Yeah. Resilient, diligent,
Mm.
disciplined is a huge
Mm-hmm.
thing. And then always you have to know yourself, and your self-worth, because it is a ruthless people are ruthless. I even had one person who I realized who is she's part of another med spa. She left me a
Okay.
she left me a bad review. And
No.
it's like on one hand, it's like, I so wish that on Google you could like tell people like how it really is, how you really
Right.
feel about them.
Yes.
So, but I had to, be, nice and kind in my response, and then hope that people would see through, what this person was trying to say was just so wrong. But it's just, sometimes, that's enough to get you to go, want to grab a cocktail or something,
Yes.
literally. But at the same token, you just have to be like, I know who I am. My patients know who I am,
Yes.
so it's just that all that matters. And then you just gotta get creative.
Yes. Yes. Well, and that's a karma moment where you're like,
Yeah,
I know that this is going to work out. I just hope I'm
yeah,
there when it works out.
yeah. And I'm like, I wanted to be in the thing. Don't you own a med spa?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know that's going to happen to her. Like, that's just how it's going to happen.
That is exactly how it's gonna. Yeah, exactly. Yes. So you do need to have, and this is even for all my females out there. You do need to have like a
Yes.
lot of kahunas.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've had meetings where guys are mean.
Mm-hmm.
Not all guys, certainly, but people can be mean, and you just have to be able to say, okay, this is what we're going to do, and this is what we're not going to do, and this is
Mm-hmm.
what I'm going to go against, and this is what I'm paying you for. You have to be able
Mm-hmm.
to have those harder conversations, and you know, it could even be with staff.
Mm-hmm.
You have to tell a staff member, like, you're not performing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep. So,
but
what are
yeah.
your tips on? Because one of the things about you, Dr. Evans, is you're so high performing, but you're also so kind. And I think that's a tricky thing to do. As someone who was in corporate for a little while, about 20 years of my career, um, I could see women have feeling like they have to turn into these kind of
Mm-hmm,
very like ball buster kind of
mm-hmm.
women, and it wasn't even necessarily their personality, but it was the only way they could survive in
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
how do you maintain that kind of yourself but still be a tough lady?
Yeah, it's just knowing yourself, knowing your
Mm-hmm.
limitations, things like that. I've had times where I just like had to put the phone down to people, because I or text people because I'm like, I just cannot talk to you.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
like I just cannot talk to you because you walk away from situations feeling so flustered about how their demeanor is, and then how
Mm-hmm.
how they treat you. And I mean, honestly, I can say this because you're a woman, I'm a woman, and for all the women that are listening, I'm sure that y'all may have had instances where there's been guys that talk to you like like you're not in charge.
Uh-huh.
Or there's somebody behind you that's going to come in and say, oh, I'm the boss, I'll make the final
Uh-huh.
decision. Like, no, that's on you. So it is hard, but again, that comes with, your daily meditation. You just got to shake it off. You just got to keep going to the next day. And,
Mm-hmm.
and then know that every moment, this is a good quote for you. Every day you wake up is another chance to get it right. Another chance
Yes.
that God is not done with you yet. I
Yes.
mean, because if he was done, you wouldn't wake up.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, yeah,
He doesn't make mistakes.
that's right, exactly. So just knowing that, takes me further and further and further. And it gets to be where I'll tell you another funny thing too, where there was one time I was at like a group, we were at like a sports thing, and I ran
Mm-hmm.
into someone who is basically my competitor, the big
Uh-huh.
box med
Mm-hmm.
spa, right? That
Yep.
came by. Yes. And they were like, "Oh, I heard of you." And I said, "You did?" And I was like, "Little old me." So you're doing something right when you're looking at them, but then they're also looking back at you.
Yeah.
So I took that as a compliment, even though he was kind of making
Mm-hmm.
fun of me at the same time. But it's just, you know that you're doing something right when you have haters, when you have people that are looking back at you, asking you like, "Well, how did you do it?" Even the
Yes.
other day, I had in 2020, I had left a group. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it was terrible. Like they treated me so bad at the end. And
Ugh.
I could not wait to just get away and stuff like that. But they had the nerve to ask me, they're like, "Oh, you seem like you're very successful now. What did you do to get this far? Like, did you need
Oh,
some help or something like that?" And I'm like, "No, I hard work, believe in
yeah.
God, patience, you know."
Yeah.
So so yeah, so it took everything just to not tell them how I really felt about them
Yeah.
situation. But yeah, you look around and yeah, that, you're making waves when again you have these things, these people behind you that are looking at you. And it's almost just like a breakthrough. I think to myself,
Mm.
even Beyonce had haters. Jesus had haters. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And then eventually you just get to a certain point where you take off and it's more of appreciation than, disrespect and, discernment and stuff like that. So,
Mm-hmm. No, it's so true. And I think you said something that is really powerful
uh-huh.
in that when you can't, when you know you're not going to approach something as your best self, you take space. Like
Yes.
you take space away from the situation
Yes.
until you are capable of presenting your best self. And there's nothing
Absolutely.
wrong with that.
Absolutely. And that's really important. Like when you're
Mm-hmm.
dealing with patients that are fussy, because you will have
Mm.
them. The higher up you climb, yes, you're going to have them. You're going to deal with, people trying to take advantage of you. That's
Mm-hmm.
always happened. Quite a few times actually. I hate to say
Mm.
it. But, it comes with the territory.
Mm-hmm.
It totally comes with the territory. So, you have to be willing to take that and get up every single day and then just keep putting one foot in front of the other.
Yep.
Yes.
So I'm curious. I
Mhm.
always ask my guests this.
Mhm.
At this point in your career, what would your theme song be? Do you know?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
You don't have to answer right away. I can totally give you time.
I think I can tell you this one, because you're gonna laugh at this one probably. But okay, so despite all that Michael Jackson had
Yes.
at the time, he has that "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough."
Yes. Yes.
Yes, and literally, so if I took that Michael Jackson back then,
Yes.
powerful, practiced everything, worked very hard, was tried to be a perfectionist in everything that he did. And then his theme songs were just so powerful.
Yes.
So even like listening to motivational music, motivational speakers, all that stuff is huge. So I
Yeah.
definitely encourage, for anyone listening, like people like Myron Golden, Joel Osteen,
Yeah.
like all the powerful people that are going to give you entrepreneur business sense and motivation to kind of keep going. All those people become so important. And as you go through life, you will hear them talking to you.
Uh-huh.
You will hear like, "Oh, I heard about this thing." So it's crazy. It's absolutely,
Yeah. No,
and
I love that. Like you're feeding that.
yes.
And you're giving yourself permission to do that. I mean, even if you're having your busiest day, I love that you're saying, you make time and space for your meditation in the morning. You're making time to get inspiration outside your four walls, like how,
Absolutely.
the things that you need to feed your soul and feed your momentum
Absolutely.
to be successful in life and in your job and everything else.
Totally, totally. And I'll share one of my favorite quotes now because
Yes.
this is like my planner, my messy planner. So this has to do with believing in something until you see it. So faith causes you to show people things that were not there until you showed up to show it.
Oh, I love that.
Yes. Faith causes you to show people things that were not there until you showed up to show it.
Which shows how important you are. And
Yeah. And
that's
having that
amazing.
faith and that positivity is just, it's incredible.
Well, and as a team leader, I mean, you're a leader even just within your organization. I think that's tough for people. That's when you're a small business leader, whether it's in a practice or a business, people are watching you and you've got to have your best face forward every day. And that can be a challenge sometimes.
It is, but it's okay.
Just as long as you actually prioritize what you're talking about.
Always, 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 always.
So, all the things that you're doing, I am curious, what is exciting you right now in the industry? What are the treatments that are coming down or the trends that are coming down the pike that are like kind of lighting you up a little bit?
Yeah, everything with longevity and
Uh-huh.
aesthetic and things like that, of course, because I know you heard a lot. But
Mm-hmm.
the thing is that I think already, we have this great thing where we can take people through not only their weight loss journey, but helping build muscles through
Mm-hmm.
hormone balancing, now through the exomind, and in terms of just helping people, taking it to like the nth degree. I mean, there's just no telling how many people that, can benefit from these services. Because I mean, we all are getting older and it all becomes
Mm-hmm.
about maintenance. What's the best thing, that's out there that can help? What do I need to do on a daily basis? And these are just, just a small portion of things that are out there that when combined, they literally can change lives. I mean, even our functional medicine wellness device, I'm sorry, the M-Sculpt Neo, it has a functional
Mm-hmm.
wellness function. So people that with aches, strains, you know, joint pain, things like that,
Mm-hmm.
we can now help them, so it's much more than just body contouring now, it is functional wellness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
No, I agree. Would you agree that it's like the future of the industry?
totally, totally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I totally feel like we're like Jetson. Jetsons, you know what I'm
The
talking about.
Jetsons,
Yeah. Yes,
Judy, and
yes, exactly. I
yes.
totally feel like we are just, like for the future. It's so funny because it's almost like I don't even think like sometimes I can't even comprehend how cool it is.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. I mean, it's funny. I was talking to my son the other day and we were talking about lifespan. And I was like, Sam, your lifespan is probably going to be quite a bit longer than ours,
right,
given
right.
the progress everyone is. I think AI has quite a bit of to do with it as
Mhm.
well, like how we can actually see solutions a lot quicker than in the
Yes,
past and
yes,
all
yes.
of that. It's
Hmm.
very cool. And you're right at the cusp of it, which is
Hmm.
super cool. So you have spent a fair amount of time with me today, and I so much appreciate it. I have one more question for you.
No problem.
Um, if you could give your younger self a piece of advice for
Hmm.
navigating this industry,
Hmm.
what would it be?
Oh, wow. Let me think here. Um, it's probably about being patient with
Mm,
yourself. I
mm-hmm,
think that that's probably the hardest thing because, again, a lot of us still get in there like, well, I want it like yesterday.
mm-hmm,
I want to be like $100 million practice like right now,
uh-huh,
but it takes time. And during that time, you have to go through changes. And I think by going through those changes, even the most, unpleasant things like my old
mm-hmm,
practice, I've
mm-hmm,
learned so much.
mm-hmm,
So, you will learn from the people that give you heartache.
mm-hmm,
Literally, it makes you, it's almost like molding steel almost. It makes you stronger,
mm-hmm.
but that it does take time, it does take patience, and then eventually, hopefully 5 years from now, we'll be having this conversation again. And I'll be like,
Yes.
remember I told myself that and I didn't want to be patient with myself, but I just had to keep reminding myself, it takes time.
Yes. Well, and each step is valuable, even the crappy ones.
I completely agree. Yes. As
Yes.
long as you're learning from whatever negative situation that you're going through, as long as you learn, then it served its purpose.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's so true. That is so
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to learn like what not to do.
Yeah, so true. Like if you don't learn from, like if you're not allowed to fail,
Yeah.
failure for me is like, that's my biggest teacher is,
Yeah.
those lessons hit home when you fail.
Totally. Totally.
Well, you're just so wise and so lovely. And I love every second that I spend with you.
Oh.
And I'm so grateful for your time. Thank you so much for being on the podcast and for being my friend and for being amazing. And I can't wait to see you soon.
Vice versa. You're such a doll.
Oh, thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.